happy gardeners. Welcome back to Stinky Ditch Nursery. We've got Marla on camera. Say hello, Marla.
Hi.
And Marla learnt a new word the other day. What was your new word, Marla?
Balmy.
She learnt the word balmy because in the greenhouse it was balmy, pleasantly warm. Oh, now it started raining.
Started raining?
Oh, that might interfere with the sound. Oh, it doesn't matter. We'll have to be quick because when it rains in here, crikey people, it gets very loud. And I learnt something today as well, didn't I, Marla? I learnt that snail eggs are not nice to eat. What on earth possessed me to try a snail egg?
You literally walked up to me with
know.
a snail egg and put it in your mouth.
Yeah, I just wanted to try them. Very, very slimy, ladies and gentlemen, and the slime just doesn't seem to go away. Oh, there we go, lesson learnt. Anyway, I've had a few messages about the dierama. Your dierama in your garden, they're going over. These are dierama. They're from Africa. They are a grassy sort of thing, but they have these lovely flowers that are described as angels' fishing rods. Have a look at them on Google Images if you don't know what they look like. They're stunning. They last for years and years and years in the right place. They can be grown in pots, and I'm getting people sending me messages asking what they should do with their dierama at this time of year. Now, what you can do, and what I'm probably going to do with most of mine, is just leave them. Let nature do its thing. What we consider to be tidy and neat is quite often the exact opposite of what nature does itself. It's quite a, well, it's not chaotic, it's beautifully engineered in a way. Well, it's not even engineered. Well, I'm losing the plot here, aren't I, Marla?
No.
What am I trying to say? Yeah, I'm just getting excited about the complexity of the natural world. And what is a garden? Well, you know, people have been in lockdown this summer and spent a lot more time in their gardens than they normally would, thanks to the lovely weather we've been having. So you've got to think to yourself, what is a garden? What is a garden? Now, according to us, it's a place where you pull out every indigenous plant. Anything that's been growing there, you strip it out. The natural ecology of the place where you've got your garden. And then if any of these things start coming back, we get in there with sprays, we dig them out, but they are the plants that are meant to be there. We then choose a whole host of plants from all over the world that have no rightful place in the same vicinity together, and we put them all in and we call it a garden, and this seems to work. If you want to help nature a bit more and you don't want to go completely mad and let your garden completely grow over, there are lots of things you can do. You can make log piles. This is really helpful, but the basic rule is the more messy it is and the more weeds you've got growing, the better job you're doing for nature. Anyway, what we're going to do is, if you want to tidy up your dierama, and perfectly well, you know, why not? Why not? If you want a neat garden, have a neat garden. Have just a little messy corner somewhere with a few logs in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to tidy up this dierama. We've got a nice big one here in a lovely pot, and as you can see, Marla, spin him, show the people, we've got a few weeds growing on top, and we've got all these little brown leaves. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull them out. If they're not pulling out easily, then get yourself a small pair of scissors. Oh, we've got a couple of little snails on those. They can be put outside somewhere.
Or you could just eat them.
Oh, I could just eat them. Yeah. Oh, there's another little bit. Marla spinning. Look at that baby little snail. Can you get that in focus?
Not really.
Not really. No, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so what we're going to do is spin down here, Marla. I'm going to cut these leaves away, sort of at the base of the plant. Not right the way down. It doesn't really matter that much. And we're just going to pull them and snip them until we've got a tidy plant. I'm not going to do all of that one because everyone will get bored. So I'm going to show you this one, a little small one here. Now this is only a couple of years old, this plant. As you can see, the roots are growing out the bottom, so we really need to pot this up. But before then, what I'm going to do is, because it's not actively growing at the moment, we're going to cut out these dead leaves. And you'll notice that it hasn't got many leaves on it. See that, Marla? We've only got a few leaves. Now this is because the plant has been putting an awful lot of energy into producing the flower. This is the flower stalk, yeah? So it will have produced the flower, it will have produced seed. This takes a lot of energy. It wasn't putting it into growing the leaf, but nevertheless, it needs the leaves to photosynthesize. So us cutting it back now will enable the plant to concentrate more on the leaf at the start of next year when they start growing, all right? So I'm gonna cut the rest of this back, cut out this old seed stalk, like that. And these tops of the leaves that look a bit brown, we can just snip those off if we want, if you just want to make it look a bit tidier, like that. Just do it at a bit of an angle. And there we go, and that's a tidied up Diorama. I'm going to give it a little bit of a top dressing, like this, Marla, if you can spin in. This is a slow-release fertiliser. I use Q4. It's recognised as an organic fertiliser by the Royal Horticultural Society. Just Google it, have a look at it. And then I'm going to give this a little bit of a topping, because the pot has sort of lost quite a lot of soil. There we go. Give it a little bit of topping, always remembering to leave that bit around the top. And there we are. Now, the other question is, if you've got it outside, how cold can they go? Do you know, Marla?
No.
They can go down to about -10. So if you've got a place where it's going down to -10, now, plants in the ground and plants in the pots will take different temperatures. If a plant's in the ground and the roots are quite far down, the cold doesn't get down in there unless you've had a very hard, long ground frost. In a pot, however, you've got all the cold air around it that can get in here. Now, if you're going to cold, if you're in the north of England or somewhere in the world where it does drop below -10 degrees centigrade in the winter, you might want to put some straw or something like this around your pot just to keep it a little bit warm, and maybe over the top as well. And that should do. Or if it's in a pot, bring it into an unheated greenhouse or something like that. You don't want to get them too hot, but you don't want them to drop to that really low temperature. And always remember not to keep them too wet. You don't want them sitting in water over the winter either. They're not actively growing, they're just going to sit there. Have I gone on long enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have. Anyway, this has been Robbie Phoenix down at Stinky Ditch Nursery with Marla on camera, just showing you how to sort out your diorama at this time of year. Thanks for watching. Oh, and don't eat snare legs.